The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
How's it going, guys? And welcome to the Always Achieving Show. This is the show where we share the knowledge because we believe that knowledge is to be gained and passed on. It's about living life on your terms. The show is all about getting the golden nuggets, the insight from CEOs across the world, speakers, coaches. It's gonna be a phenomenal show again. I've done 3 shows back to back, and we've got a great guest tonight as well. It's gonna be phenomenal, guys. I've got an album being released at the moment, a self-development album, and this is the morning track, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and it's gonna be out there very, very soon. Good morning, guys. I'm so excited because I know someone is listening to this right now. And I want you to know, realize this is that you decide how your day is going to go. No more are we going to let the things on the outside determine how we feel on the inside. Today is the day that we take action. Because, guys, why are you doing this? Who are you doing this for? And when you are connected with that why, oh my God, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Focus on where you're going. Focus on what you're going to achieve today. Focus on being that change that you want to see. When you wake up with purpose, you wake up before your alarm clock. Get out of that bed and begin with. And realize that if you make the most of your 24 hours every single day, what you would normally achieve in 10 years, you achieve in a year. Who you are speaks louder than what you say. You must go against the grain. That old voice is going to try and slow you down. The old voice doesn't like change, but you are in control. You. So when you know that, you can then set the sails in the direction of where you need to go. So guys, say out loud right now, say I will, I can, and I am. Let's repeat this again. I will, I can, I am. Lift your chin up, pull your shoulders back. Walk, talk, and act as if you're already there. Today, I want you to walk, talk, and act as if you are already there. Because, guys, guess what happens? The more that you do this, you will then develop the characteristics. And you'll then have a path in front of you which will take you where you need to be. When you stop saying, I want this and I want that, when you start saying, I need this, it happens. Woo! Guys, that is one of the tracks in my album for my mixtape, my motivational mixtape, because I believe what you see, what you hear, and what you do every single day conditions you on the person that you become. So I'm so excited because these shows, guys, it's just about giving a lot of knowledge away. And so a topic that I want to talk about tonight is financial education, money. Understanding what money actually is. Because before I got into self-development, before I started my business, I believed that money was something that came by when it did by working 40 hours a week, getting paid £8 per hour and being happy with it, settling for it, it paying my bills, it paying my food, travel, and £100 to spend on whatever I wanted. each month, and I was putting up with it because I just assumed that was money. You had to trade your time. There had to be some sort of graft behind it. And it wasn't until I became a speaker, I became a coach, and I realized that actually, do you know what? You don't get paid for the time. You get paid for the value you put in that time. As you can see in one of the pictures, it says you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. And that hit me. So when I was starting out in business, I knew that I had to fill people's needs. You have to become responsible for getting results. And when you start to get results, and when you start to fill people's needs, you get paid more, which then allows you to help more and to provide more for your family. It's like the worst way to make money is trading your time. So it's about becoming so effective at what you do. So your passion, building your passion into a business, always thinking about the customer's needs. What do they need? For example, the top left, we've got a picture of a heart surgeon. If you needed a heart transplant, you don't say to the heart surgeon how much. You find the money. Because the need, there's a big there's a big negative consequence if you don't get the money. So in business, it's about really finding that need for people. And growing up as well, what I would hear around the house is that money is the root to all evil. Money is the root to all evil. And rich people are stingy. I actually believe that. I was like, they're stingy. Poor people are generous. So my meaning on money wasn't a good meaning. So therefore, subconsciously, I wasn't attracting a lot of money. I wasn't getting a lot of money purely because of my belief on money. But what I realized was that actually money doesn't change you. It just magnifies who you are. I'll put a picture up as well. Money doesn't change who you are. It just magnifies your personality. So if you are generous without money, when you make a lot of money, you become more generous. You can give more because you can't give what you haven't got. Another big golden nugget in this as well was that when I first moved to London, I moved to London with £400 to my name. And I put a tweet out on Twitter to ask if anyone in London had a room to rent. And I paid £300 for this box room. But beforehand, I had read the books. I had a mentor. I knew exactly how money worked. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get myself out there as a speaker, as a coach, not worry about the money, as long as like I could cover the essentials. Like literally, when I first started speaking, I was going to Primark to get my suits and all of this stuff, but purely because I knew that the money was going to come, but I had to be seen. I had to reach the people. So if you see the bottom right of the corner, you see a chicken and you see an egg. An employee gets handed an egg. So for example, just say if the egg represents money, we're always going to have to wait for the chicken, the employer, to give us this egg. And then when you use that egg, you're going to need another egg. So for me, rather than chasing the eggs, I was more focused on how could I develop the chicken. Because once you develop the chicken, you can then produce the eggs when you want. And you can develop it by understanding that you don't get paid for your time, but you get paid for your value. And how do you mold your passion into a business? And this is what it's about. It's about understanding the process of money, understanding that you get paid for the value and not your time. And then when people say to you, that they can't afford your services or products, what they're really saying is that they don't really need it. So it's about getting them in a place where they see that they do need it. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, then it should make sense. It should make sense. This is funny. So, guys, as well, another thing that stops people getting into business is fear. But I've got this, I've got bills to pay. They have this big safety net. What stops people from getting out of a 9 to 5 is that fear of not having money. But guess what? When you take that jump and you're falling, you're going to fall for a bit. But what's going to happen is that you're going to open your arms and you're going to get these wings. Because what happens is when you're put in that situation, the real you comes out. You start focusing on how can I make income. And when you do something that you love, you can do it 7 days of the week. And it doesn't feel like work. But it's all about taking that risk, taking that jump, having that belief. And this is what keeps the masses in 9 to 5 jobs. Because they're scared to take that jump. But if I told you that money is just an illusion, money is just energy, that you can make money, like if you spent all those hours working in a job that you didn't like, if you spent those hours at home writing down ideas for your business, ideas of how you could make income, how you could fill people's needs, I promise you, you would make what you would normally make in a month, you'd probably make it in a year. What you'd normally make in a year, you'd probably make in a month. But it's that fear that stops us. I don't mean just jump out of your 9 to 5 job. I mean kind of like take action. Just treat your hobby like a business. Brand yourself. Like we was talking about Morgan yesterday about branding yourself, getting yourself out there, being that go-to person. And that's what it's about. It's really kind of just understanding that in life, you only get a certain amount of time in this world. But if you use your time wisely, you'll take ownership of your time. And it's realizing that fear that you have. Like, for me to do this 3 years ago, I would be like, no, you're joking. I could never, ever do this, man. Like, what are people could be laughing at me right now. And these are the questions that I would be saying to myself in my head. But it wasn't until I started to invest in my mind and I realized that actually this fear, it doesn't exist. It's just false evidence appearing real. It's like every time you take your mind outside of your comfort, every time you go outside this comfort zone, the mind is going like, oh my God, what's going on here? We could die. There could be a saber-toothed tiger. There could be a lion. There could be something out there. But in fact, we get this sense of fear doing things where there's no sense of danger anywhere near us. For example, speaking on stage or talking on a webinar. And what you realize is that once you face that fear head on over and over again, you then become comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And that's where the power comes from. It's the repetition, understanding what fear is. It's powerful. So tonight, guys, oh my God, I'm excited now. We're going to have an amazing guest. This guy I met at an event that I spoke at Halloween when we walked on fire, guys. We walked on fire. Talk about facing your fears. We walked on fire. This guy, he got into business when he was 15 years old. In school, he struggled with dyslexia as well. So he had all these adversities, but he's overcome them through self-development, which is powerful. He's the co-founder of the nationwide company, which is called Supersport, which coaches schools around the UK, which is phenomenal. And he's 22 years old, guys, 22 years old, and he's on fire. Literally, I can't wait for you guys to listen to what Angelo Ciccarelli I hope I said your name right, Angelo Ciccarelli. He was like, I was like, how am I going to pronounce that last name? Okay, let me see if he's ready. Let me see if he's ready. Angelo,
Hello, hello,
you in the house?
Ciccarelli. You said it perfectly.
Oh my God, you know what? I feel amazing now. I said it right. How's it going,
Hello,
man?
how are you? Thank you. I'm honoured. I'm honoured to be here. Thank you so much, Warren.
Literally, like Angelo, since I first met you, man, I was blown away by what you've achieved so far, and the
Thank
fact
you.
that you're the same around the same age as myself as well, and I just had to have you on the show, man.
Thank you so much. I'm honoured. I didn't expect you to ask me that. Thank you so much.
No worries, no worries. It's my pleasure. Do you know what, Angelo? Before every guest, before they get on the show,
Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh
okay,
oh.
we have the face challenge.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure how good you are at singing.
Oh,
Oh,
you've come to the right place.
okay,
You've come to the right place. No
okay. So
problem. What do you want?
you've
What do
got
you want?
you've got three options. Okay, so
Okay.
number one,
Right.
number one is gonna be
Yeah.
Drizzy.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Number two, every little
hmm
thing, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Okay.
And number three,
Yeah.
let's go for it. It's gonna be a bit of Elvis.
Let me throw out a fourth option really quickly. Everybody will know this one.
What's the fourth one?
Cheer Up Sleepy Jean by the Keys. It's a classic. If you want to hear that, it's very motivational, positive, or I can
Are
give
you
you some
actually a singer,
Disney.
Angelo?
No! No! No, yes I am. Yes I am. I am. You
Oh,
know,
I like it.
yeah, it didn't quite work out,
Do you know what?
but
I want to just take you outside your comfort zone. Really, I want to bring some Drizzy, man. I want you to
yeah.
kind of
All right, okay. What have I
let's
got?
go
Let
with
me
it.
think of anything. Okay. No, I've got to do this voice
I
as well.
love it, love it.
Ah,
Keep doing it, keep doing it.
ah, ah. And how's it go? Oh, it's my
Come on,
favourite one.
just make
It's
the
called
words
A
up.
Drink Over.
That's what I do. Make the words up.
Who the fuck you? I swear it feels like the last few nights. I've been everywhere and back, but I just can't remember it all. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm living life right now. Maybe I'll do it. It's over. It's over, but it's far from over. Pooh!
Woo,
Uh
woo, woo,
oh.
woo.
Uh oh.
Angelo's in
We
that
lost
house.
every attendee. It's gone down. Uh oh. It's gone down. I'm
No,
joking.
it's not. It's going up. It's going up. We've got
It's
Luke.
going up. It's
Luke
going up.
George is in the house as well. Luke, woo, woo.
Luke Giorgio, what a man.
He's a
What a man he
phenomenal
is.
coach, phenomenal human being.
You need to get him on. You need to get him on,
Ladies,
Warren, at some point.
take a man, ladies. So I know. I
Oh,
think I might have to get Luke on. You know, I might have to get him on.
you do
So
need to. He's an amazing, amazing person. He's really helping me.
wicked. I know he is, man. So Angelo, three words to describe Angelo.
Okay. I would say positive,
Yeah.
driven, and caring. I want to throw caring in there.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to say caring.
Positive, driven, and caring. I like it. What's the what's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning?
The first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning is, of course, my beautiful girlfriend, Jessie Smith, who I'm sure is listening. That's the first thing I think about. The second thing, good brownie points. The second thing I think about is I have an accountability call every morning at 6 o'clock with Luke, believe it or not.
I like it.
So we have a half an hour accountability call. We discuss our plan for the day, anything else that we would like to get each other's feedback on. We then this is really important. We talk about what we're grateful for, And it's so gratitude is so it's so powerful to actually sit there and think to yourself, I am grateful for this, I am grateful for that, I've got this, I've got, just it's about it's about being thankful and grateful for everything that you have already in your life, you know.
I love it.
Um,
It's that,
yeah,
yeah,
that's the first thing.
that's a fantastic answer, guys. Like everyone that's listening right now, when you wake up and you have gratitude on your mind, like Angelo, is it possible that you can be down and grateful at the same time?
Um,
Like you have to pick
you
one.
know, you can no. Once you're when you're grateful, it's just everything. It's like you're opening your eyes to everything you have already in your life, and it's amazing because there's people out there. The first thing is you've woken up.
Mm,
You've woken up.
exactly.
There's so many people out there who haven't woken up. People
Yeah,
who are not going to wake up tomorrow morning, and that in itself is powerful.
it's so true. It's like, and that's it. It's like once you're reminded of this daily, it's like people say to me like, Ron, are you always happy? I'm like, yeah, because I'm grateful. I'm consistently thinking about the things that I'm grateful for, and like we
Yeah,
live in a
that's
world.
it.
Yeah, I think we live in a world where we compare ourselves. We compare ourselves with people that maybe have more than us, materialistic wise,
That's right.
or do you know? But do you know what?
Totally.
For the listeners that are listening, I want them to really know who Angelo is. So let's go back from the start. So where you grew up.
Okay.
Let's go.
hmm Okay. So yeah, I've lived in Waltham Cross my whole life with my mum and my dad and my sister. Waltham Cross, if you're not 100% sure that is, it's technically Hertfordshire, but it's just outside Enfield. So I always say I'm from North London if anybody asks.
North.
Um, um, yeah, I mean, I grew up in a loving family, a loving, caring family. I mean, we're not rich. I haven't come from money. I had everything that I needed. I didn't always have those luxuries or those expensive items, but I had a roof over my head and a caring family. Um, I went to school and I did, of course, struggle academically, through being dyslexic. It was a really, really difficult and challenging time in my life, and that sort of trying to understand why I couldn't read as well as everybody else, and why I couldn't write as well as everybody else, and what was different about me, what's wrong with me. And for so long, I was, praying to God, and I didn't want to be. I was just wishing I wasn't dyslexic. I was, please God, take this away from me. This is, I just want to be normal. And it was after a while, and after lots of different issues I having. It was actually one day when I was at home, and I got into bed and I was crying, and my mum came and she says, what's the problem? And I was like, I can't read, and people were laughing at me, and I had to do some reading in class. And she goes, you know what? It's that whatever people are telling you, you do not have to believe them.
Like that.
Whatever they're saying to you, you are who you want to be. You can achieve anything you want to do in life. Yes, you might have to work a little bit harder with your reading, your writing. You have to find other ways of doing it, but you can do it. And it was really from then really from my mum, my dad, and my sisters, got given me the belief, and other family members as well, give me that belief that that you can achieve anything, and that's why I do as many talks in schools as I can, and make young people understand that you can achieve. It doesn't matter what's holding you back. You can do anything that you want to do in life. Yes, you have to put in hard work. Yes, you're going to have to network and you're going to have to get yourself out there, but you can do it. And it's as simple as that.
Exactly.
So I went to, after school, I didn't want to do sixth form. I left. I did an electrical installation course because my dad was an electrician. He said to me, look, son, you learn a trade. You can do it. You can always earn money with doing a trade.
Yeah.
And this is what I say to young people. I say, don't chase the money. It's not about money. Do what you enjoy. Whether it's art, whether it's whatever it is, do what you enjoy, and the money will come. The money will come. You know, if you're doing what you enjoy, you never have to work a day in your life.
I like that.
It's as simple as that. So I was doing a little bit of part-time coaching at the time. I really enjoyed that. I managed to I sent out, in one evening, I sent out quite a few emails to lots of different local youth clubs I wanted to try and coach for, and one got back to me, and I ended up being the company apprentice for for a sports coaching company. And it went really well. I was still quite young at the time, and the director of the company gave me quite a lot of responsibility, maybe too much responsibility, and I ended up sort of running a lot of it for him, and that was a big learning in my life through trial and error and making mistakes and being mentored. Unfortunately, the two directors of that company had a big falling out, and it all went, it all went pear-shaped, and myself and my current business partner, we were without a job, and we were working together within the company, coaching. We said, look, I was still at the age where I could go back into education, so as a backup, I was thinking I could go to college, I could, go and back into education, but, I got some advice from family and friends and people who already, some mentors who were already working within the industry, and we just said, look, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go out on our own and start our own company. And we started a Super Soccer, just going and doing football sessions with children in nurseries. And at the start, it was really difficult because we just needed to do sessions to get by. We just needed to make money. It was just about survival. And what we slowly realised was that it was actually a very viable business. And by then, I'd gone on a lot of different business courses. I went on different property courses. Believe it or not, the small amount of money my mum and dad saved for me for my first car, I managed to persuade them to let me spend all that money on courses.
I love it.
And this is,
love that.
I'll say to a lot of people who want to, get into business or just who want to better, you have to educate yourself. You have to, increase your knowledge as best you can, whether that's through reading or audiobooks or courses. And I went down the course route, and I went on a lot of property courses. I managed to persuade them. They weren't happy about it at the time, but it's one of the best things I ever did, going on these courses and reading certain books. Rich Poor Dad was an amazing book. I'm sure you read that, Warren.
Great book.
It's an amazing book. I've read it twice now, even with my reading ability. It's an amazing book, and and those courses and everything that allowed me to grow the company, grow the way I dealt with clients, and just everything. We just expanded and expanded, and we started in 2011, and now we have 23 full-time members of staff working within the company. We are the UK's leading provider of nursery sports coaching, and obviously coaching within a lot of schools as well. So as a company,
guys, that's amazing, by the way. Just I had to say that.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. But there's so much more I want to do. I mean, we're franchising the company. We're still yet to sell our first franchise, but this year I will be selling 5. So at least. So we are going to be, we're going to be in different countries and everything else, So it's been a great journey, and obviously, it's allowed me to go into property investing a little bit more, motivational speaking, and what I've tried to do is I've tried to sort of attach myself to successful people within the industry. Now, without being a pest or without being a sort of a crazy sort of person, but I sort of try to pin successful people down and try and befriend them, and for all the right reasons, and hopefully to gain knowledge, and you should always work for knowledge, like you said at the start about how financial side of things. Try not to work for money, work for knowledge. It's so much more valuable. And with my property investing, I'm working with a guy called Jonathan Steen, who's you know, he's an amazing guy. He talks as well at all these property events across the country. You know, he's got a big portfolio of properties, and I've been working with him 1 day a week, and that has been so valuable just to have that, you know, go-to person. I do believe I'm adding some value as well,
Yeah.
you know, and he enjoys me being there, etc. You know, and I was just working with him free of charge, you know, of course, and just gaining the knowledge, you know, and I wouldn't be where I am in my property journey without him, you know, and again with the motivational speaking, now I'm venturing into that, and I have done some talks already, and I'm working with Luke Giorgio, who's helping me and mentoring me in that aspect as well, you know, and I just want to give back. I just want to, you know, help in terms of the motivational speaking. I just want to go into schools, go into, you know, colleges and unis, and show people that anything is possible. You just have to focus and put your mind to it, you know, and you can achieve.
That's amazing. Like, Angelo, with this though, what inspired you? Who was like? Did you have a turning point that you wanted to be your own boss, or
Mm,
how did you
yeah.
get into becoming self-employed?
I think a lot of it comes from my mum and dad. That, you know, if you're you know, who are my idols? My mum and dad are the biggest advocates for being positive, and you know, they always encourage me, and they said, look, this is what we have, but you can do anything you want to do in life, you know. Um, and all the mentors that I'm working with have been big, you know, have really inspired me. But you know, as well, you know, I aspire to be similar to Richard Branson. You know, he's an amazing person. I've
Richard
read a
Branson.
lot of his books. People like sorry, hello.
Yeah, you're just breaking up a little.
Oh, look, oh,
Hello.
got ya. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Yeah, Richard Branson is a big idol of mine. Obviously, him being dyslexic as well from a young age, people always said to me, "Look at Richard Branson." And at that age, I was like, "Who's Richard Branson?" You know, oh,
Yeah,
he's founder of Virgin. Oh, Virgin, yeah, mate. You know, and it's amazing. You just have to look around your surroundings, and you will be inspired. You know.
100%. Like, so we know that when you wake up, you think about your lovely girlfriend, then you think about how grateful you
Yeah.
are. What does a typical day in Angelo's world look like? What is your daily routine?
Okay. So I a typical day will be my accountability call. I'll then either go to the gym or directly to the office. There's two main options for me. I think I'm always more productive with my day if I go to the gym or if I go for a run, and you know, it just releases all the dopamine into your brain, and the serotonin makes you just feel, you know, it makes you feel good from the first, you know, from the first step out the door. You're running down the street. Is, you know, even if it's raining or cold, you know, once you get back, you're out of breath, but you love it. You feel like
Feeling
you
amazing.
know, you feel like you're the man, you
Yeah.
know. So I'll tend to try and do some kind of workout, and then I'll get to the office. I like to be in before my team get here. Um, the reason for that is I want to lead by example. I don't want to lead by, you know, being a. There's a great picture that you've probably seen on Facebook, and it's showing a group of people pushing or pulling rather a big block, and then the boss is standing on a chair at the top. And he's whipping them, or he's saying, "Yeah, come on, off you go." That's a boss. I like to try and be a leader, and I'd like to, and part of that picture as well is that the leader is at the front pulling with the team, and that's what I like to do. I like to try and get in here before everyone so they can, you know, obviously I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do when I'm in here, and I am more productive in the mornings, um, but it's great for them to come in and see that, you know, I'm hitting it hard. I want to achieve something, and so do they. You know, we're all working towards the same goal, and we've got some unbelievable people working within the company. You know, we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have amazing an amazing group of staff. Because a company is only as good as the team of people. I can sit here on the phone to a client and say, yes, we are this, we are that, we deliver this, our coaches are that, blah blah. If a coach turns up to a session and isn't enthusiastic, isn't motivated, doesn't provide what provide what I'm saying, so we're all on the same wavelength. So I'm really lucky and grateful that we've managed to recruit such amazing people within the company.
That's wicked. That's wicked. So is that so? You get up in the morning, you do your
Oh
gratitude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so I'll know what I'm doing already because I would have looked at my schedule the day before. So a sort of standard sort of day for me is I'm now in the office. The first thing I do is get back to email. So part of my standards as a person is I try to and do respond to every single email I receive.
I like that.
That's hard at times because the amount that I'm receiving. But I endeavour to respond to everybody. So that would be the first thing I do. And then go through my tasks for the day. A lot of what I do now is just is creative stuff. Growing the business. Sales and things like that. And I still do some of the coaching as well. So on my typical day now is in the office, but on some days I'm out doing assessments. So I assess the team to help develop them.
Yeah.
And if I need to cover sessions, I'm out there still delivering the sessions as well occasionally, and that's not a problem because I enjoy it. I love it. I love working with children. It's so rewarding to see a child when you walk into school, walk into a nurse and see the smile on their face. And they're so happy to see you. And not only that, I mean some of the settings that we're working within, these kids haven't really got much. So the one session a week is the only thing they really have to look forward to,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. That's amazing to give back to the youth of today. There's nothing better in my opinion. And then obviously after that I will, depending on what I'm doing in the evening, I enjoy tennis now, so occasionally go and play a game of tennis. What I would be saying at this point is that I then read before I go to bed. Now that's something that I'm struggling to achieve at this time, but it's something that I think is really important because your morning routine is the most important thing, I believe. But even the last thing you do is so important as well.
Yeah.
So what I have been doing is I've been listening to audiobooks. At the moment, I'm listening to Think and Grow Rich. So recommended to everybody.
Guys, just to say as well, if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, go and purchase it. Go and listen to the audio. Get the book. It's incredible.
Yeah, and you need the unabridged version as well.
Yeah.
The unabridged version. It's with the audiobook, for instance, it's like a couple of hours longer, so you've got even more information there. And that's a typical day, really. I often go to networking meetings. I'm part of an amazing organisation called BNI. So I network, and what I always say is your network is your net worth. It's you need to be getting yourself out there. So I do a lot of networking in the evenings. My BNI group in Enfield is a morning. You have so many opportunities when you're networking. For instance, this morning, Lord Michael Gove, the Secretary of State, was at BNI this morning. So to get that sort of opportunity to talk to him is amazing. So networking is definitely a one key factor.
I like it, Angelo. What I've got from your daily routine, guys, for you guys to write down. I think it's essential with like basically what you do every single day. Your daily routine produces the results that you get in your life. But what I get from you, Angelo, is that you wake up with gratitude. So therefore, and beforehand, your schedule sorted, so you know what you're gonna do. You wake up with
That's it.
gratitude. You then exercise, which releases the dopamine, which makes you feel amazing. Then you get into the office.
Yeah.
You get into the office before everybody else to set that example, to be the leader, to walk what you're talking, which is
Hmm.
powerful. You love what you do, so
Yeah.
you're greeted by smiles and you're in your element. You're loving what you're doing. That's also producing
Yeah.
oxytocin and all of this great, great feelings in the brain.
Totally.
And then your
Totally.
networking, like you said, your network, um, your network is your net worth, which is powerful as well, being around like-minded
Totally.
people. And then you read
Yeah.
it off, which obviously is powerful as well. So,
Audio, but yeah, definitely.
so guys, like what you see as well, everyone that I get on the show, they have a very powerful daily routine. Like
Mm.
if you look at someone who's successful, just look at their daily routine. Like success leaves
Definitely.
a trail. So,
100%.
so yeah. So what I want to do now is I want to get some questions out. So
Okay.
we're gonna go to the webinar audience, and we're gonna see
Mm-hmm.
who's brave enough to come up,
He's brave enough.
to come on air. Get on air, or like we still say air? Yeah, come on air. So what hands have we got? Who's gonna face that fear? Who's gonna speak live on the show tonight? Is Luke gonna put his hand up?
Luke.
Luke? I wonder if he's signed on and he's not actually at the computer, he's just watching TV. We're saying he doesn't.
Haha.
Guys, let's see these hands. Come on, who's put their hand up? Who wants to ask some questions?
Come.
Okay, we've got one. We've got Josh. Okay.
Josh.
Josh is.
He just added me on Facebook, I think.
Josh, how's it
Hey
going?
guys,
Hello, Josh.
Right, great webinar, guys, loving it. One question, I was thinking, there's probably people listening in thinking, you know, they've been told that the most successful people get a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
How would you suggest to someone that hasn't currently got a mentor to go out and find one? Does that make sense?
Question. Yeah. That's the $1,000,000 question right there. And you know what? It's powerful because these days it's a lot easier, I believe, these days, because you've got things like Facebook, you've got things like Twitter. You can get yourself out there a lot easier. What I would suggest, first thing to do is to network. You know, you've got to go to the meetings, you've got to show your face, you've got to get out there and you know, speak to people. And you'll know when you meet the person that you want to mentor you. You'll know because you'll look up to them and you'll think, wow, this person is somebody I want to be. You know, and that'll happen. What I'm actually finding as well is that the successful mentors that have been mentoring me and the successful people that I'm working with, they want to help people. They have a lot of them have a burning desire to help and give back, and they enjoy it. They enjoy the mentoring, you know. And you will get people as well who try and sell you mentoring, try and sell you courses, things like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I've had a paid mentor as well before, which was amazing. But you need to first get yourself out there. Go to as many networking events as you can within the industry that you're looking to get into, or even if it's not within the industry, just get yourself. You've got to get yourself out there. And it's funny, the way I found Jonathan Steen, my sort of property mentor, is actually through Facebook. And there's some massive groups out there for property. And I just did a big long post. I just said, hi, I'm Angelo Ciccarelli. You know, I do this, I do that. I'm really looking to shadow somebody and to, you know, I feel I could add value, etc. And I got about 10 people get back to me. A lot of them trying to sell me mentoring. A lot of them trying to say, you know, what's my motivation behind this, blah blah blah. And Jonathan was one that messaged me back and said, look, you know, let's meet up, let's have a coffee. You know, we met up a few times. We had lots of common interests. You know, and we've done a lot of work with each other since. You know, so I would suggest you've just got to get yourself out there. It can be daunting at times, especially when you're new, because you might feel that, you know, what value can I add to that person? But you have value. That's what you need to understand, is that you have value, whether it's, you know, whether it's your motivation, your positivity. You know, it's you're going to that person's office. Yeah, you might not have £1 million in your bank and things like that, but you can be bubbly. You can be somebody they want to talk to, someone who will listen. You don't even need to give them the answers. You can just be there to listen. You know. So the first thing I would say is you've got to get yourself out there. You've got to network. You've got to, you know, do your social media. And as another thing as well, that your mentor could be someone that you already know, and you never thought they could be a mentor, if that makes sense. You know, you might have a family member who you don't really know what they do, you don't really know what their industry is, you don't really know what their life consists of, and they could become a great mentor. But the first thing you've got to do, you just got to get yourself out there and go from there.
Great advice. Cheers, mate.
Wiki,
No problem,
Josh.
thank you.
Josh?
Yeah.
You still there?
Still here.
Wicked. Josh, have you got any more questions?
Maybe for people listening in as well.
Yeah.
Going to your first networking event. Maybe you don't have a clear path yet. Where you're going, like what you want. What would you suggest to someone? Like, can they still go to a networking event and just meet people? You know. What do you suggest?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't need to go to a networking meeting and say, you know, you're Angelo from Supersport. You know, you can go to a networking meeting and say, hi, I'm Josh. You know, I'm not 100% sure I want to do right now, but I'm here to network and get some insight. You might go to a networking meeting. You might speak to someone who does property or does, you know, something. Then you think, wow, and it might spark something. And think, oh, actually, that's it. You know, that is what I want to do. So yeah, I would suggest yes, 100%. You can go. You know, it's you know, a lot of these networking events. There's so many people there who want to help you. You know, like I'll use BNI as an example. That everybody there is just amazing. They want to genuinely help you. You know, that they don't want anything in return. They just want to help you because that's sort of, and there are people out there like that. You know, so just get yourself out there. And don't get me wrong, you're going to meet an arsehole as well. You're going to meet a guy who thinks he's, you know, he thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, there are people out there like that. But the majority of people, in my experience, have been caring and have been, you know, it's people who just generally do want to help if you've got the right intention.
Awesome.
That's great. Josh, man. But facing the fear, man.
Yes.
Wow. I love it.
What's that?
Facing the fear and coming out live on the show, right?
Gotta be done.
It's got to be done, man.
Gotta be done. Gotta draw that value.
What do you do now, Josh?
What do I do? I'm working in the 9 to 5, but I'm just in the process of starting up a business at the moment. So yeah, you know, just chatting to web designers. I'm putting the business plan up and everything, just getting it into motion now.
Yeah. You know what? One of the best pieces of advice I ever received was from a property investor, and I reached out to him on Twitter, and I said he's a big guru, he's based in America, you know, he's got £10 million property portfolio, etc. I said to him, please, can you give me just one golden nugget of business or property, or you know, one thing, just give me one strategy, one thing. And you know what he set up, and he said, yes, Angelo, I'm gonna give you one thing. I was like, wow. First of all, he's responded, amazing. And you know what he said to me? He goes, I'm gonna give you one amazing piece of advice. He said, just do it. And I was like, at the time, I was like, what? He said, just do it. Out of all the strategies the guy could have given me, he said, just do it. I was like, what is he having a laugh? But that was one of the best pieces of advice I ever received, because that is the hardest thing. You just have to do it. If you've got an idea, if you've got the passion for it, just go out there and do it. It's as simple as that. Just go and do it. You know, don't worry. You're gonna have your haters. You're gonna have people telling you can't do it. You know, you just got to get out there and make it happen. So, but I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Josh, what you got from that is go and do it, man. Take action. You're doing it, which is amazing as well, brother.
And there are no mistakes. There are only lessons.
I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? You know, a lot of people, they might have the ideas, but then they just hold back because they create all these fears in their mind, and that's the difference between the people that make it and don't. They don't go for it and just do it, like you said. That's just invaluable advice.
Exactly.
You know?
Josh, I'm just going to pick you back up again.
Yeah, awesome.
But it's been a pleasure.
Cheers, mate.
No worries, man. So, Angelo, I've got a
Amazing.
question for you.
Yes.
There's probably someone right now that's listening in. They want to be self-employed. They want to get into business, but they feel like they don't have the funds to get started. What would you
Funds. Okay.
advise them?
Funds. It's you know what, everybody, look, not everybody, a lot of people think you need money to start a business, and the answer to that is no, you don't. You do not need your own money, or sometimes any money, to start a business. And people might be thinking, what are you on about? What sort of business? Okay, it's it is really simple as that. But with I'll use Supersport as the example. So we started a business, and yeah, I needed some initial startup funds. My initial startup to start Supersport was £120, I believe,
£120, wow.
which paid for footballs. We bought 20 size 1 footballs. We bought a football bag, and we bought some kit for ourselves. £120. That's all we started with.
So that's,
You know?
yeah. So like anyone that's listening right now, you don't need the funds. You don't even have to use your money.
No.
Which is the powerful thing. I think there's a lot of limited beliefs. I think a lot of people have that belief that because we don't know much. Some people don't know much about business. They just use all of these big words in business,
Yeah.
equity, and all of these different difficult words, and it kind of puts us off. It puts people off it,
That's it.
and it's that whole fear of kind of the unknown.
That's right. That's
So like,
totally right. You don't need your own money. I mean, in the property world, for instance, you know, you can find somebody who has a ton of money but no time, right? There are investors out there, loads of them, who have money but they don't have the time. So they're constantly looking for people who have a little bit of extra time, whether they have a completely free time or just a little bit of extra time. You can partner up with these people, you know, your time, their money, bish bash bosh. You have a business. You've used none of your own funds. You know, there are ways of doing it.
yes, it's powerful. Just say if someone wanted to get into property, what would
Yes.
you recommend? What's the first steps? How do you understand it? Because like for me
Yeah.
personally, I haven't really got a clue about how to get into property. So how do you get in?
Okay. Um, Again, the first thing I'll say is what I mentioned earlier. You have to educate yourself because you're gonna go into it blind. Um, and yeah, you could still achieve what you want to achieve, but you need to educate yourself. You need to see how you're going to get around certain aspects. You know, where to start, what properties to buy. Do you buy flats? Do you buy houses? Do you want to buy and just let the property out? Do you want to develop it? You know, do you want to go down a different strategy? I would suggest educating yourself as best possible and finding a strategy that fits you. Now, when I first started learning about property, I thought that there was only two strategies. I thought you buy a property and let it out, or you buy a property, do it up and sell it. I thought there's only two strategies. There are hundreds of strategies that involve using none of your own money. Strategies that if you do have a bit of cash lying about, that you can do that, do this, you know, and you need to educate yourself. You need to think of the strategy. Once you've educated yourself in the strategies, and there's some great books out there, there's some great companies that can help you learn. You know, you don't have to spend thousands of pounds on courses. You can read a book that can tell you the strategies. Once you are aware of the strategies, then you can choose what path is right for you and your circumstances. If you have cash, you go down that route. If you don't, but you've got time, you know, there's so many different strategies. And once you've chosen your strategy, you know, then you got to think about what area you're going to invest in. So my chosen area is Colchester. So I invest in Colchester because for me that just fitted my requirements. The properties, I didn't want to go straight in with buying £1 million houses, so I went up to Colchester and I was able to, you know, buy a little bit cheaper up there to test the water to see how it would all work. You know, so I would suggest educating yourself, learning the strategies, and then choosing the strategy that's best for you. And then again, just do it.
Perfect,
Just do it.
perfect. And also where could they go? What kind of, is there any meetups, any networking groups that
Yeah. I mean, some of the big networking events that I attend. Um, there's one big one called the Property Investor Network.
Yeah.
They're the PIN meetings. They're nationwide. They're everywhere. And there are others as well. And there's loads of different magazines that you can read. There's loads of different books that you can read. There's Progressive Property, another big organisation, run by some great people. So yeah, they're all out there. A company that I used when I first started, and I used all my savings. My parents allowed me to use my savings. It was a company called Tiger Learning. Again, a really great company, who have some great people working within it. Again, they'll want to help. Yeah, there are things out there.
Definitely, yeah. Like that. So, guys, if you are interested in property, then go do your research, take action. Because after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, they tell you about assets and liabilities, and in the property world, it's definitely an asset if you know what you're doing. So it's like educating yourself, and it becomes so valuable. Do you know what, Angelo? We're coming towards the end of the show right now, but
Yeah.
we've got 20 people that are listening in,
Okay.
and I want this to be 2 to 5 minutes, but just explain, like, inspire these people. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Inspire these people. Massive
Inspire these people. What I would say to anybody who's looking to get into business, anybody who's looking to get into property, or just wants a better life for themselves, I would say that you can achieve anything you want to do. You've just got to get those limiting beliefs out of your head. And so, yes, it's easier said than done, but you need to understand that, the Prime Minister, he started from day one. Richard Branson started from day one. Everybody's, you can all achieve what you want to achieve. You just have to focus and set yourselves goals. Set yourselves. I'm doing a talk next week in a school, and it's all about goal setting. It's so important. Set yourself a goal. If you want to leave your job by December next year, you need to set yourself the goal. I will leave my job by December next year because, and you need a why. You need a why. One of my massive whys. One of the biggest reasons why I want to be successful, what I perceive to be successful, and and everything that goes with that. One of the biggest things that I want to do is I want to have enough money one day where I can just say, here you go, Mum. There's that big nice house that you've always wanted. Enjoy that. Thank you for the life and upbringing you gave me. Here you go, Dad. Here's that Porsche that you wanted because you deserve it. And for me, it's about having that goal and that why of why you want to do it. And don't get me wrong, there's people out there who don't want, who are happy in their lives, and you're happy in your life, fantastic. But if you want to achieve, your max potential, then just understand and know that you can do it. You can do it. You just have to get out there and don't worry about these people. There's going to be so many haters in your life that tell you can't do it for this reason. You can't do it because of that. That won't work. This won't work. It could be the people closest to you. Don't worry. Ignore it. Believe in yourself and believe that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve in your life. And just do it. That's the biggest thing I'll say. Just go and do it. Ignore the fear. Ignore the people telling you. Ignore your own limiting beliefs. I'm dyslexic. I can't read and write. How am I ever going to write emails? How am I ever going to do this? Don't worry. There are other ways. So just get out there and do it. And you can, network, talk to people, educate yourself, and just get out there and make it happen. Now that's one of my biggest sort of slogans. But make it happen. It's my screensaver. As soon as I turn my laptop on, it's make it happen. You got to do it. You got to get up and every morning and make it happen because you deserve it. It's as simple as that. if you have no other reason, but because you're a good person and you deserve it, then that's reason enough for me.
Angelo,
Hopefully that was good.
that was powerful, man. That was powerful. And guys, if you are listening, guys, don't just listen. Take it in, write it down, take action. Angelo, it's been a pleasure, man. You've given so much knowledge.
Thank you.
And another great point as well is that you make, like, a lot of people, for example, me being a speaker at 26, you can sometimes get people in their 30s, 40s, 50s and saying, what can someone in their 20s teach me? But what you're proving, okay, what you're proving is that it doesn't matter how old you are, it's about how you use your 24 hours. And that's what you're doing. So, brother, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. You're doing big things, Warren. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
No worries, brother. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, can you give them your handles?
Yeah. Yes, I am on Twitter. I am at AB Ciccarelli. Okay. Just if you type in Angelo Ciccarelli into Facebook, I'm the first one that pops up. If you type in Angelo Ciccarelli to Google, you'll see Supersport. You see my LinkedIn. Yeah, just get in touch with me. I want to help people. That is my one of my biggest ambitions is I want to help people. You know, so feel free to get in touch.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much, Angelo.
Thank you, Warren. I really appreciate it.
No worries, my pleasure, brother. I'm just gonna mute you up now. So, guys, we're coming to the end of the Always Achieving show. But what I do is I handpick those people who can give you so many golden nuggets. And what you find, guys, is that when you start surrounding yourself with successful people, you'll realize they speak a certain language. You'll realize that their daily routine will be different from the masses. And it's about, like, what I want to get from this show is just that knowledge. Because I believe that knowledge is the true power in your life. The smarter you get at what you love to do allows you to get paid doing something that you love to do. And this is what it's about. For me, it was originally I wanted to do one show a week, and I thought, you know what? Stuff it. Let's get as many driven, successful people that are proven, like that are walking the talk onto the show to share with you guys. And this is what it's about. And I thought, I was meaning to do this ages ago, and I thought, you know what? I need to get it out there because people need to know that success isn't an overnight thing. You don't just become successful in a day. You got to build the foundations. You got to plant that seed, and no one apart from you is going to know that seed's there. So people are going to doubt you. They're going to say that you can't. They're going to put their beliefs, they're going to give you advice on their belief. You have to look at where they're coming from. But realize that if you keep watering that seed every single day, and what's going to get you up, that why is going to drive you. So be connected to that why. Like Angelo said, his why was to give back to his parents, to say, do you know what? Thank you for providing for me. I'm going to give you this. And it's like that why, once it becomes emotional, once that why becomes bigger than yourself, then it doesn't matter if you don't have the resources, you will find a way. So guys, if you like tonight's show, let me quickly go and get the first thing. If you like tonight, my mind's gone blank. If you like tonight's show, hashtag the Always Achieving Show, and put what you liked about it, because I want to get a crowd of people in where we've got 500 people live on the webinar, and we can do conventions around the UK. But this is it. This is where it starts. This is my third show, and I love it, man. I'm learning. We're learning from these guests that we're having on the show, and it's empowering. It's Friday night. There's some people that are clubbing right now, and we're here on a live show gaining knowledge. But I promise you guys, if you spend a few years of your life, like not many people will, you will spend the rest of your life like not many people can. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Warren Inspire Ryan, and have a good night.